Tony Dungy, a member of the Pro Football Hall of Fame, has launched a new attack when he's not discriminating against the LGBTQIA+ community or launching conspiracy theories on his social media accounts that lead to the dehumanization of said community. He's attacking one person who is by all means responsible for a rise in NFL viewership, Taylor Swift. That's correct. This individual draws Dungy's ire.
It's getting ridiculous how she's being criticized by some, insulted by others, blamed by many. Grow up. And in the case of Tony Dungy, who's 68 years of age, was a phenomenal coach, phenomenal football mind, it's like, come on, man. Can we stop this, sir? Please, respectfully, please.
When you've lost Stephen A., it's really saying something. So what did Dungy utter exactly?
There's a new poll that came out, a survey. Only 23% of Gen Zers consider themselves avid sports fans.
NFL Hall of Famers were interviewed by right-wing Dracula here and gave their insights on Gen Z not watching live sports as much as other generations.
I think we'll always have sports in some form or fashion. Some people are disenchanted with it.
What do you make of the Taylor Swift effect here?
That's the thing that's disenchanting people with sports now. There's so much on the outside that coming in, entertainment value and different things, as taking away from what really happens on the field.
You're blaming Taylor Swift for a disinterest in NFL action? Really? What? What are you talking about?
A fair question. Smith would add more.
The NFL continues to dominate TV watching. 82 NFL games in the top 100 telecasts of 2023. The league also saw its average viewership rise 17.9 million, tied for the second highest average since 1995. It rose 17.9 million in viewers. Ladies and gentlemen, the Kansas City Chiefs Christmas Day game against the Las Vegas Raiders had an average audience of 29.2 million, making it the most watched Christmas Day NFL regular season game ever. November 22nd, Kansas City played the Philadelphia Eagles, a Super Bowl 57 rematch. That averaged 29.03 million viewers. What are we talking about? And then Kansas City and Miami, the game was on NBC Peacock. Remember that? It wasn't on regular television. It wasn't on linear television. It was streamed. It had over 30 million viewers. What are you talking about? I think sometimes we look at somebody like a Taylor Swift, we look at her popularity, and we say, hey, that's not about football. That's not about the X's and O's or whatever. Who cares?
What is the matter with people? The toxic masculinity that shows up in my Twitter timeline, my ex timeline, because she's having fun at a football game. I honestly don't understand it.
Because not everybody wants to see
what
6 shots of her during the game.
No, I get it.
As opposed to
it's what? Like, honestly,
more
so
mustache shots. I'm confused.
Yeah, I mean, people are there for the football. Maybe,
but
people
she's
don't
the
come
most
to
famous.
see.
She's literally one of the most famous people on planet Earth at a football game, seemingly enjoying herself. She's never going to be anonymous the rest of her life. What is she supposed to do? Just sit there in a corner and not support her boyfriend? Is that what it's? Is that just like? And if they keep showing shots of her, I understand. Like let's see her after Kelsey drops a pass. Really? I mean, what's the big deal? As a matter of fact, this is the greatest thing ever. There's a whole bunch of people that normally don't watch football games that are watching just to see her on the screen. Put her up there. So what? So you're like, oh, I got to be bothered. I got to be zeroed in on the zero coverage. Like I gotta know more about. I gotta know more about the too deep safeties. I don't get it. It's just like what is it about her that it? Blaming her for any of the issues for Kelsey or the team. It's just like, get over yourselves. Like, it's saying more about you than it is about her.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, follow me here. I think part of what we're seeing is the old guard, and even, I suppose, some of the new, finding an easy target. The easiest target of them all, Taylor Swift. Now, You know who is not complaining about any of this? Roger Goodell in the NFL. Because the numbers are the numbers. The product is the product. They could then use the Taylor Swift effect by saying to advertisers, oh, you want to work with us? Here are the numbers of our viewership across the league. Here are the numbers for our viewership on Christmas Day. Here are the numbers that you will be reaching if you advertise with us. And then they charge those companies even more to place their products in front of the fans. Business is booming. They will always cling to whatever helps. Are they having a wet dream about the Chiefs in the Super Bowl? Yes. Not just because of Patrick Mahomes, not just because of Travis Kelce, not just because of Andy Reid, but because of the Taylor Swift effect. There is no doubt that Swifties will flock to, I haven't even looked up who has the broadcast rights this year. They will flock to that network en masse. If they missed a game, they will make up for it. On top of this, the story of Kristen Juszczyk, the wife of Kyle Juszczyk, the fullback for the 49ers. If they were to potentially meet in the Super Bowl, Niners-Chiefs, that would be pretty interesting. But the Swift effect also showed the reach that someone can have. Did she have somewhat of a leg up because of the connections that she likely has because of her husband's football career? Maybe. That's a point of discussion. But what I will say is, whatever she is making and how she has made it is dope. She has gained since Taylor Swift rocked her jacket, custom-made jacket, and Brittany Mahomes rocked a custom-made jacket. Over 100,000 followers, and her business also booming. So when I see someone like Tony Dungy, who we have covered previously, a conspirator when it comes to, the problem with schools nowadays is they're letting kids go make in litter boxes. It was not true. And yet he tweeted it. And he has been down this road for many, many years, where he has done pressers with Ron DeSantis. He has shown to absolutely hate the LGBTQIA plus community. And I do believe in my heart of hearts that there is some bias here, because he sees someone who is somewhat, maybe in his eyes, a symbol, and someone who is welcoming and inclusive. And also, potentially, her being a woman. So, do I have any sympathy for Tony Dungy getting the backlash that he is getting because of his comments blaming Taylor Swift? No. Do I, as an objective neutral, see Stephen A. Smith not going as hard on Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift for good reason? Yeah, I do. I think if he can, like many others who are in these illustrious positions, show a sign of faith and goodwill, it could potentially lead to him landing an interview with one of them down the road instead of bashing them. So, those are my 2 cents. Let me hear yours.